Okay, I'm back with the tractor. Luckily I have a very good parts fairy, aka good wife. She went to Tractor Supply, actually had some of these in stock, so for the magneto. Basically, I'm not sure this one's bad. Kind of looks like the guy might have been in here and done this. He didn't do anything else though, because it's all nasty and dirty. Part of the problem, I think, was that one of the little bitty clips and these came off together, as I'll show you. I also had a hard time getting this impulse darve is what it's called, I guess. Had a really hard time getting it off, but let me show you a little clip of the trick I used. A little tip here. Worked out good. Sometimes you just gotta think outside the box. I tried the 2 screwdrivers, had my wife bang on the tip and tried to see if we can pop it loose that way. It just wasn't coming off, so I didn't want to go to AutoZone and get a smaller puller. All we have is the big 6-inch 3-jaw puller, and it would not fit in between here at all. I mean, the lips are probably about that big, so no way it was going to go. So we do have this bearing race puller kit from Harbor Freight or whatever, so I just rigged up 2 carriage bolts here that would sit underneath. So that's the end of the carriage bolt, and they would kind of tuck underneath there just right. And then I rigged up, just used this puller with 2 carriage bolts as the lip, and as you can see, it's finally popped loose. I just got to get my nut off of there, and this worked out pretty good. So if you're in a bind and you think outside the box there and you can figure it out, that's what I did, and that saved me a trip to AutoZone to go get a smaller puller, but there we go. So this could be what the problem was. I'm not sure if that can be rebuilt or not, but I'm not sure where the keyway is. I don't even see. Oh, there it's still there. I was thinking maybe that was stripped or something, but all this came apart, and I'll get it put back together and see. I'm going to do some reading and look at that video I was watching, see if it comes apart or it's supposed to just slide back together or whatever. So cool little tip right there. Just use a good sized carriage bolt, get that lip underneath there, and pull it off. It worked well. When I got it off though, I noticed that these little clips were gone, and it could have been from the banging with the hammer and whatever, but anyway, I'm not real sure if the springs are still good in here. But I'm going to clean up everything, get it all. So I got it all taken apart, and like I said, I'm just watching that one video. Oh, and by the way, brand new beer, haven't tried it yet. Sea salt and lime, but always got to have your beer or coffee depending on the time of the day. And I think I prefer just regular Shiner, but it's not bad. My son suggested it. He was had some kind of deal for his work, and they were trying all these Shiner seasonal ones out. So I thought, well, Shiner's my beer, so I'll try it. So anyway, let me get all these parts cleaned up, get all this nasty old grease out of here and stuff. I'm just going to use the parts washer and clean everything up real well. Probably go ahead and get it assembled, and then we'll take it out to the tractor and get it tested. Like I said, this is really just to get this thing running again. Steiner Tractor has a really good video. It takes you all the way from tearing it off the tractor to putting it back on. So that video would be how to do it, and I'm just following along on the video of that. Tried some of their tricks to get this off, but that didn't work, so I ended up making my own puller. But yeah, let me get that cleaned up, and I'll get back to you. We'll get out to the tractor and see if it'll start. Okay, I'm just about getting there. I got this back together with the little clips. Got the new points and stuff in. I just need to put the condenser and the magneto part of it left. I'm slowly making progress. It was a little bit of a chore to get some of it apart and cleaned up and things, but like I said, we're getting there, and it's just a home stretch now. So hopefully I'll be out to the tractor here in just a short little bit, and it'll fire right up. That's what I'm hoping. I haven't got the new wires made up yet. I just want to see if it's getting spark or not now. Should be able to tell that. 1, 3, 2, 4, I think it was. Maybe it was 1, 3, 4, 2. I better go look. Okay, my bag popped up. So I'm on the compression. Now I'm just gonna get my wife out here to continue cranking while I look underneath to find the marks. What happened? Huh? What'd you do? Right there somewhere. Because that's about where it's fixing to change directions because it's hard to turn. I don't know what happened, but our mark was really worn off, so it took us a while to find. It's a really faint arrow, but we finally found it, and we're just a touch past. So, but I'm gonna try it. So that's what we're gonna do, and see if it'll start up. Like I said, I'm gonna take this whole thing apart in the fall and just completely restore it. Just think it'll be fun. I'm gonna kind of deck it out with some LEDs and kind of modern world meets old-fashioned world, and maybe take it to Luling for the watermelon thump or something. Drive it around in a few tractor places. But I just, you know, like I said, I just like it because it reminds me of my grandpa's, the time I got in trouble for stuffing leaves. One time he always sat up on here when we were at the garden, and my brother and I and my cousin were stuffing leaves in here on the side, and he whacked me on top of the head with a steel bar or something, piece of rebar I think it was. Just barely tapped me, but man, I went running to my mom and said, "Hey, you know, Grandpa hit me on the head." First thing out of her mouth was, "What did you do?" So anyway, it was good times. Like I said, I don't know what he had, but it was really similar to this. So could have been in the Alice Chambers, I don't know, but it's just an old red tractor. And so hopefully I can get this running so we can use it a little bit, you know, over the summer. And then when I get my patio thing that I want to make built, I'll use it to rebuild this and get rid of all these oil leaks and then repaint it and everything. So, oh, and by the way, firing order stamped right into the side of your thing, so I didn't need to go look it up. It's 1342, and it's stamped right there. So here's your number 1, 13, 4, and 2. Okay, it's a little rough. What actually ended up being the problem, now, yes, there was no spark, so I needed to fix that. I think the flywheel's off. We tried like 3 times to get it on the mark, and it just wouldn't start. So what I did was I used my bag. That's probably why it's running a little bit rough. I used my bag, and just before it started to suck the bag down, that's where I stopped and just assumed it was top dead center. So I watched my bag inflate, so it'd suck it in on one turn, and then the next round it'd start blowing it up. You could do this with a balloon or something else. But then just right when I saw the bag start to go the other direction, that's when I just stopped. And I assume that's top dead center. It's about probably 6 inches off of the mark up underneath there. That's probably the problem. So I guess I'm going to need to tear it down a little sooner than I had planned. But at least it's working and I can move it and get it running around. So, all right, well, a couple little tricks in there, but thanks for watching. And like always, we'll catch you in the next video, and hopefully we'll have this tore down for one of the videos coming soon.